Hello, and welcome back to A Soft Place to Land. I am your host, Mish, and I want to first start off by saying thank you for being here, for picking this podcast, for choosing to tune in and to listen to these words, and to choose yourself as well. I was not planning for this episode to be the one that is coming out today, but fate had other plans, and every single time that I went to go and edit the podcast that was planned for this week, there would be, whether it was a problem with technical issues or myself just getting really frustrated with the process, it just was not working. And so rather than forcing, I chose to rather flow with this decision and to be here and to talk with you now. So I definitely think that one of the reasons why the episode wasn't working was because this week I've been feeling like shit. I had my period. There was a lot going on astrologically as well. And that also was leading up to the full moon that just passed. And so I've been feeling a lot of pain. I've been feeling emotionally raw is the way to describe it. And while I think that there's a level of sacredness within that, and I think that there's a lot to respect of, having the space to grieve and having the space to also feel the emotions, whatever's coming up for you. I also feel like there's a lot of sacredness in the pain and the process of alchemizing that pain and turning it into power. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I really wanted to point to why being in the muck matters and why it's important to feel your feelings, yes, of course, and also to take note of what those feelings are. Not just to write them off as I'm not over this thing that I thought I was over. Or I really also want to just point fact to the period that brought up a lot of old situations and feelings and emotions that I thought I got over. And that definitely brought up a lot of residual pain that still lingered. And it's very interesting and very beautiful to think about your menstrual cycle and think about how it reflects nature, because always going to be mirroring the moon. And so understanding what is going on and being able to see where you are in your cycle and how that coincides with one another. It's interesting because when I was writing what I want to share, I came across this account, the Flower Child Bruja, and she was talking about how when your cycle is synced with the full moon, your body is deeply in tune with the greater shifts happening in your life and the universe. This is a major, powerful moment indicating that something major is being purged, released, transformed within you. And that just feels so aligned in my body, because I really do feel like a lot of what was coming up for me. And when I say the things that are coming up, it's what I'm thinking about randomly throughout the day, and then that kind of takes a toll on my energy, and I don't even realize that I find myself just thinking about this ex-lover or a situation with a friend that I'm no longer friends with, and I don't know, different things like that just kind of suck your energy from you throughout the day and your attention. So yeah, it was a really challenging week, and this is the best that I'm feeling. I took a shower and I blew out my hair, and I feel good. And so it's little things that we're able to do for ourselves, and that we have the power to truly put the intention into. And before I took my shower, I was dry brushing, and I was just saying a little prayer and just thanking myself for the moment of the shower and really just like washing away the shit that I felt from this week and that isn't serving me anymore. And it's like, in a way, I truly, truly was washing away those sentiments and those feelings that are not me, are not the person that I'm building myself to be. And it's like these past things have come up, and it's almost like they're reminding me of the version of myself that I no longer am. And so, in a way, I think that's one of the reasons why it is so challenging to look at those parts of ourselves, because it's like we're faced with these pieces that we're mourning and that we don't want to be associated with anymore. And it's like a bittersweet release, I think. I feel of like knowing you want to let go of it and also having the resistance, because it's like all you've ever known, and it's a feeling that is comfortable and that is known to every degree. Yeah, this full moon in Libra, sis, she's been brutal. And I think one of the reasons why she has been so beautifully brutal with me is that my moon is in Libra. So I have been feeling the effects of this moon very intensely. And Libra is all about balance. So one of the questions that I've been coming to terms with and reminding myself is, how can you seek balance if you do not first sit with what is imbalanced in your life and what is out of alignment for you? And that is literally what I've been forced to feel this last week. It's serendipitous sort of feeling to feel the relief of the culmination of the energy leading up to the full moon, and now that it's over, kind of like the release of that muck. It's the end of this eclipse portal, which is giving us this opportunity to shed. And it's also allowing us to sort of sit with this idea of, okay, what is coming up for me? What am I feeling? How are these past experiences and relationships and situations coming back now? And how are they affecting me? What's trying to come up and be released from my heart? Like, listening to yourself and sitting with your journal is beautiful, because you don't always know what's going to come up until you give yourself that sacred moment to sit with what needs to. And I've been so focused on the rebranding of the podcast and this rejuvenation that's been happening for me. So I feel like one of the things that this moon and the time has been trying to teach me and to tell me is that you can't birth something new without first sitting with and shedding the old. And it's not wrong to feel these low emotions and to feel sad for yourself, for your past self, and for versions of you that no longer are. And I think there's a moment of telling yourself that you don't have to fix it, and giving yourself that permission to feel shitty when that's how you want to feel, and allowing those emotions to be data points and to not necessarily feel so attached to them, but rather using them and utilizing them as pieces of information for you to then see, okay, that still hurt. That is something that still needs some tender love. And, that isn't feeling good for me anymore. That doesn't sit well with me as it once did. And so releasing that, whatever it is from your life. And as I've been going through this cycle, the last couple of periods I've been really using this time that is given to me to slow down and to not just power through the period, but rather like taking the first day off, if it's possible, first 2 days, and really being with my body and just listening to it. And I am an emotional person. I am very in touch and in tune with my emotions. And so just like giving myself the opportunity and the grace to let the tears flow if that's what they want to do, or just to feel angry if that's what I feel, and like go on a drop. Literally, this has been the most incredible thing that my sister and I have done. During COVID, we would go on drives and we would play whatever music we were feeling and just fucking scream. Not in like a residential area, but like, holy shit. It was one of the most therapeutic acts ever. Aside from like joining kickboxing. Genuinely, that has become one of the best staples for me. Highly recommend it. Yeah, that's it. That's all. I am just being honest about what has helped me this week. And there's also just the level of realizing that you don't have to always be okay. And you don't have to always fix what you're feeling or understand it or try to rationalize why you're still upset over something that you thought you were over. Like, sis, come on. You're human. You're doing the damn best that you absolutely can. And you deserve to give yourself grace for that. You owe it to yourself for working so hard and for doing so much all the time, for carrying so much all the time. You are so strong, and it's seen. It is valued. It is recognized. And I just want to acknowledge that, because I myself do not give myself enough credit for the work that I do. It's a journey and it is a process, and it is something that I am teaching myself every day, and that I'm reminding myself consistently, constantly, that I am allowed to feel deeply, that it's not wrong for me to feel deeply, to feel so much, and to be emotional. I am still growing. I am always growing. Even when I am resting, and rest is necessary most of the time. The most growth happens when you are resting. And it is so necessary that without that rest, and without that deeply replenishing rest, like that good rest, you won't be able to operate at your best. So reminding yourself that too, that to be the person you want to be, you need to give yourself time off. You have to be easy on yourself and not push yourself too hard all the time. We are doing the best that we can. We're only human. And so I leave you with this. Some journal prompts for your night reflection. Ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? Ask yourself, what needs to fall away in order for you to feel whole again? Sit with these questions and see what comes up. Breathe through it. Feel through it. And don't be so hard on yourself. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. And trust that in doing so, you are unearthing something that needs to be felt, processed, and healed, released. It's such a beautiful cliche. You do feel to heal. I love you. I want you to know that you are not alone in anything that you've been feeling this week leading up to this full moon. You are okay exactly as you are. And you are so strong. Remind yourself that we deserve to more out. I love you, and I look forward to sharing the next episode with you next week. I love you. Ciao for now.